Hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday. Come on in the room if you are available. I know on Saturdays, typically people are out doing their errands and stuff like that. And I don't typically go live on Saturdays either. But last Saturday, we had a really good live session. And I felt like I needed to come on and do this training this Saturday as well. So here I am. I wasn't sure if I was gonna get to do it. That's why I didn't post it before to let y'all know that I was gonna go live. But hey, hey Coach A Marie, hey poets. Who is this? Mimi's Natural Pantry. Hello, hello. If you are joining, let me know that you're here. I'm not gonna be before you all long. However, I'm doing your funnel updates today. Congratulations. Thank you for taking the advice. I can't wait to see your glow up and all the amazing things coming your way, Coach A. Marie. Hello, Coco Express. It looks like Saturdays may be a vibe to come on and do lives, right? But I'm not going to be before you all long. I just had a topic that I wanted to discuss today about how you should be leveraging digital strategy for in-person events. And so I think this is something that is very, very valuable. It's something that has served me very well in the past. And I've been able to use it with several business models. Thank you, poet. I've been able to use it with several different business models. So I think that this is very vital information. If you are a coach, if you are a consultant, a service provider, somebody who does vendor events, if you sit on panels, whatever type of in-person networking, or just go to in-person networking events, conferences, whatever it is, this is a strategy that can take your business to the next level if you hone in on it and truly leverage it in the way that it needs to be leveraged. Okay. So this is one of my strategies that when I had my jewelry business, which I still have, I keep saying had, I just don't actively work it. But when I was building up my jewelry business, it's something that took my business to the next level. And it's something that helped me separate from other consultants that were doing the same business that I had. It's something that helped me separate from them and ultimately ended up generating way more money. So it's something that again you can transfer to any type of business model, anything that you do. It's pretty much standard across the board, right? So I just have three different tips. I'm not gonna get into the deep weeds of it because if you want to know about deep transformation of it, you can come to my workshop, my digital strategy workshop that I'm having here in Memphis. You can come and get the deets and walk out with the gold if that's something that you want to dive deeper into, right? But as far as today, we're just going to talk about how to leverage these three strategies that I'm going to talk about today for in-person events. So make sure you all listen. Make sure you share with somebody who you know needs it. If you know a speaker, you know a coach, consultant, service provider, or somebody that's just trying to get back in the groove of putting their feet to the streets, help them get this strategy so they can maximize what it is they're doing. So the first thing is you want to have a great follow-up strategy to use with the context that you have acquired. So the purpose of you going to in-person events is for you to build relationships. Even though the same purpose is to build relationships online, you get a greater opportunity when you are able to stand in front of somebody for them to be able to feel your energy and feel, your character more in person. They are able to really make almost an immediate decision as to whether or not you are a great person that's a great fit to work with them or for you all to collaborate with each other, whatever the end goal is supposed to be from that meet, right? So know this, that every time you meet somebody, it may not necessarily be that they need to become your client. Maybe there's a collaboration that needs to come out of it, right? So maybe this is just a genuine partnership that you all can build that can be mutually beneficial, and maybe it's a collaboration that can come out of it, right? Now, the second thing that you may want to pay attention to is pay attention to how the conversation goes, right? During this conversation, for you to be able to gauge whether or not this is going to be a sale, a collaborative relationship, or just a good relationship or a good resource for you to have access to in case you need it, your clients need it, whatever the case may be. But you have to learn how to read the room, if you will, and read the conversation, read body language, and all of that to determine whether this person is going to be a great fit client, a great fit collaboration, or a great fit resource for what it is that you need to do. It's typically going to be one of those three things. That will help you learn how to guide the rest of the conversation, and that will also help you learn whether somebody is inviting you to sell to them. I'm giving away my gold. I talked about this in my coaching group this past week. But that's how you end up determining what type of conversation is going to be. So depending on that will depend on what type of follow-up strategy you need to have upon leaving that conversation, right? So if it is a client, if it's somebody that you know that is going to be a great fit client, they have basically said all of the key words that you should be paying attention to that are indicators that this person is a great fit client for the service that I have, and they have already really invited me to offer to them. So it only makes sense that my follow up strategy for them should be something along the lines of, hey, I met you at such and such event. We had a conversation about this particular issue that you were talking about. And this is the solution that I mentioned about in the conversation. I would love to get you on a phone call sometime later this week, or if your local meetup, whatever the case may be, you should be able to take it and guide their conversation to end up leading you to close the sale if you don't already close it there right on the spot. Because sometimes people are ready to buy right there on the spot. You have people that are really ready to get their problem solved. Sometimes they'll be ready to pay you right there on the spot. So you need to have your invoicing system, your honeybook, whatever it is that you use to take invoicing and payments and do your contracts. You need to have that available just in case somebody is on the spot and is like, I'm ready to pay for this now and get started. And that way, your follow up when you leave the event is that you're just onboarding them as a client, right? You already have all of those processes built out. So you're not trying to fumble or trying to do that. So if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, right? So that would be the follow up process for that. If it's a collaboration, your follow up process is going to look kind of similar. However, the conversation is going to be a little bit different because instead of you talking about an offer to sell, it's talking about what can we bring together from what you do and what I do and help collaborate and get exposure to each other's audiences that will create a mutually beneficial relationship for the both of us, but also increase our audiences because we are cross exposing, right? We are cross exposing. So I talk about all the time how it is okay for you to be able to leverage other people's platforms to build your own. That is fine. However, you cannot be a leech of a person. You have to have a mutually beneficial agreement between the two of you all, and you have to know what direction you're going in. If you all start trying to do this and you're going in opposite directions, it's only going to lead for the relationship to end up not being as mutually beneficial as you desire, right? So it's good for the follow up for this particular relationship to be, hey, we met at such and such event. We talked about, these particular interests. We both voiced or both thought that this would be a mutually beneficial relationship. I would love to talk to you further about how we can collaborate, bring exposure and resources to each other's audiences, and move from there. Like, it's simple. We make things so hard. And for the most part, if you all would just get to the point of what you need with people, you all would have better conversations with people instead of skirting around the fact that you actually want something. I like people in my DM on Facebook all the time. I see that you do such and such. It's great. But if you have never engaged with me before that, you have never commented on my post before that, you have never said anything to me before that, you all of a sudden noticing that is not going to make me want to buy anything from you. I'm sorry. I don't know who training y'all to do that for a sales practice, but it's trash. Let me just say that. Okay? Because you didn't all of a sudden just notice me. You didn't all of a sudden just notice that I did this thing for the benefit of what it is that you're trying to sell me. Don't come in my inbox doing it. Tell me what it is that you want so I can make an informed decision and tell you, yes, I'm in the market for this, or no, I'm in the market for this. It's all about rapport. Exactly. Because people can tell whether or not you all of a sudden see them or if you have been intentionally engaging with them, building connection, building relationships, and building rapport. It don't all of a sudden just happen because you started a new business and now all of a sudden you need to try to approach as many people as possible so you can get as many no's that can lead to your yes. No, no, that's not how it works. Okay. So that's for relationship, for collaborations. For people to be a resource. If you just determine that this is maybe not a great fit for a client, this may not be a great fit for a collaborative, like an open collaborative effort. However, you do know that it may be a great client resource for your clients to be able to use, that is still a very simple conversation, right? Because ultimately it's I'm gonna keep you in my resource pocket. If there's something that I have that could be a resource to your clients or your audience, you'll keep me in your resource pocket and we'll just send each other referrals. That's it. That's still a stream of income. Referrals is still a stream of income. It's real, right? All you have to do is show up and do what you say you're going to do and be who you say you're going to be. That's it. Now, how that particular referral acts once they get over there, we can't control that. But the idea is you're going to show up and do what you said you're going to do and be who you said you're going to be. That's it. Sending referrals is another form of cash flow in your business that you can build if you build intentional relationships with people. Okay, so it may not be a direct hard sale. However, the long game is if we build a relationship, we can create a referral channel between the two of us that still creates cash flow for us. A lot of y'all gonna miss that. A lot of y'all gonna miss that because everybody's trying to be the first. Everybody's trying to be the one that did it. Everybody's trying to not look like they collaborating with somebody who's doing the same thing that they doing. Y'all be thinking too hard. Y'all make this way too hard. Okay? It doesn't have to be that hard. It doesn't have to be that hard. We both could be out here doing the same thing and being just as successful because why? Your audience is not my audience. I'm not in competition with you. The way that you portray yourself through your content and your language and your coaching style, your leadership style is not the way that I portray myself through my coaching, my language, my content style, and my leadership style. Your audience is different from mine. Why are we afraid to do stuff like this? These are things that will grow our business and grow our business exponentially and even quicker. And that way you won't feel like you're alone in a silo trying to build this business because being a business owner is not easy. But you can make it easier if you are open to opportunities to do these types of things, right? So that's just number one. And I came in swinging. I hope y'all realized it. So that's number one. Number two, this is the second tip, right? If you are speaking, know your options for pitching. If you are speaking, know your options for pitching. So if you are a speaker, your number one goal is to be able to get in front of a room of people that hopefully has your ideal client. Now, let me put a pin right there. This goes for speaking engagements, networking events, and vending events. No, I don't want to come to all the events. No, I don't want to come to all the networking events. No, I don't want to come to all of the vending events. No, I don't want to be an invited speaker to every event. Why? Because this is a strategy. This is business. And if the ideal client that I'm seeking, or the ideal collaboration that I'm seeking, or the ideal resource that I'm seeking is not somebody who you appeal to, as far as what you display in your content and how you show up and what audience is attracted to you, there's no reason for me to want to be there. And that's not being mean. That's not saying that I don't support what you do. That's not saying that I don't care about what you do. I need you all, first of all, to develop more emotional intelligence, because for you to even raise those questions is silly. But two, I need you to be more strategic about where you spend your time. Because it's one thing for us to go to an event and for us to be at an event, actually networking with intention. It's another thing to host an event like such and think that people just supposed to come and kick back, have drinks, and take pictures. That's not a networking event. It's not benefiting anybody. I can do that in my house. I can go to my friend's house. Like, I can have a party in my own house, right? I don't have to go out to do those things necessarily, right? If that's what I want. However, if you are a speaker, if you do vendor events, If you go to networking events, your sole strategy should be that you are wanting to go with the intention of getting in front of one too many. The one too many strategy is there is an influx of people in the room that fit your ideal client, your ideal collaboration, or your ideal resource. And this is your opportunity when you have the stage to wow the people so much that they're trying to figure out after you come down off of that stage and after the event is over, how can they connect with you? How can they work with you? How can they collaborate with you? How can they be a resource to you? One of those three. If you leave the room having a one-to-many opportunity and nothing like that happen, it's probably two things that happen. The ideal client setup was not there, which means the people that you were hoping that you would reach having an opportunity like that, those people weren't in the room. Or you may have not done a good job conveying whatever message or whatever it was that you were supposed to be doing today. If it was a speaking engagement, if you were on a panel, if you did a workshop, whatever case may be, the one-to-many approach. That is your opportunity to give your all. I don't care how many people are in the room, 1 or 1 million. You should be able to display and deliver your message as if that same maximum amount of people were in that room. Because I always say, even if it's one person in the room, you may have one person, they may spend $10,000 with you, $100,000 with you, $1,000,000 with you, and you so discouraged about it being one person in the room that you have delivered. But then you got 1,000 people in the room. Some of them may come and spend $1 with you. Some of them probably gonna pass you up. So you rather, because you see more numbers in the room, your confidence is all of a sudden boosted. So you think that means you're going to make more money because there's more people in the room. No, that's not necessarily how it works. They won't spend anything. They'll as consumers, this is a little psychological tip, right? They as consumers, because they are in the room as a consumer with several other consumers, are going to walk past you and say, it's enough people in here, somebody gonna stop by. And they gonna be the ones that don't spend it with you. Right? That's not how it works, right? But if you have one person in the room and you just target, you serve, keyword serve, you serve just like it's 1,000 or 1,000,000 people in the room to that one may be ready to spend 6 figures with you. You don't know what their budget is or if they even got a budget. But because you did so good and you delivered and you showed up and you still got whatever you needed to get across, they were ready to spend their money with you. And some of you all would get so discouraged because only one person showed up, only two people show up. It only take one. It only take one. And last time I checked, the word did say, 2 or 3 gathered. So it ain't got to take millions. It ain't got to take millions to hit your millions. It doesn't. I know this is what social media like to tell y'all, but that's not how it works, right? So the goal, if you are one of those people that has the spotlight for that hour or for that however long you have it, the goal is for you to show up and show out and deliver. Because after you get done delivering, again, the goal is to have people coming up to you either after the event is over or after you get done speaking. If you have the opportunity to hard pitch or soft sell, or at least direct them to something to where they can add their contact information to a system or something that you have that you can do a follow-up afterwards, because you might not be able to hard sell during that. You need to ask the event organizer whether or not it's okay for you to do a hard sell. But you also have to know how to read the room as well too. This is why you have to have a strategy, a digital strategy to go along with what it is that you're doing as far as your tactical strategy, right? This is why the two can couple to help increase revenue in your business. So depending on what the event organizer says, if you are a speaker, and let's just say, for instance, the you didn't get paid your speaker fee. Okay, so let's negotiate what I can get. So if I don't get paid my speaker fee, how about everybody that registered for the conference, you provide me the list of their information, or you give me an opportunity to do a hard pitch, a soft sell, or at least provide something to where I can collect their information for those that are truly interested in what I had to share and say this day. This is if you're not getting your speaker fee up front. Or maybe you could do a negotiated speaker fee. Maybe it's not the full speaker fee. Maybe it's a little bit of the speaker fee, and then you negotiate those other options, right? If it's you got your speaker fee, but they say you can't hard pitch, okay, the goal is to at least collect the people's information. At least. Because after the event is over, you do whatever you want. You hard pitched in because it's your information. The selling was done whenever you did your workshop, your presentation, you spoke on the panel, or you did your keynote. Whatever you did, that's when the selling was done. And I don't mean like literally up there selling, talking about your offer. I mean you showing yourself knowledgeable and showing yourself approved as to why they should be booking you as the thought leader in the space for their particular service that they offer. That's selling. Educating is selling. Informing is selling. Those are forms of selling. It's not always a hard sell, right? If you are vending, right? If you are vending and you are at an event, more than likely you're not going to get access to the registration list because you are a vendor, right? You're not going to more than likely have the opportunity to speak. So if you are vending and you are trying to figure out how to maximize um, getting everybody's information, it is your job as the vendor to have something at your vendor table that people, hey Mel, that people can either sign their information on when they stop by, because you should be collecting emails, addresses, names, and numbers at your table anyway. It's not the event organizer's responsibility to provide that information to you because you are a vendor. So you are there to sell yourself and your business at your table. And a lot of you all have very poor vendor etiquette, very, very poor, because y'all sit there at y'all table, you fumble on your phone, you don't greet the people, you don't smile, you look like you hate to be there, you look like you bored, you're not walking around the room engaging with other people, other business owners, you're not walking around the room engaging with other customers that are in the room, sending them to your table. You are failing yourself as a vendor, just sitting at the table looking like a sad puppy. You are failing. There's a lot that you should be doing trying to capture people and capture their attention and capture their information when you are a vendor at an event. This is why you can't vend everywhere. And I'm not going to dive into my vendor strategy. You'll have to pay for it if you want it. But that's one gold key that I'm going to give you to that. It's not for you to vend everywhere because everywhere doesn't have your ideal client. And everywhere, honestly, ain't worth going to set up at. Because you can tell by people's flyers, you can tell by how they promote the event, you can tell by all of that whether the event is going to be worth going to, whether you should be there. But that's all I'm gonna say about that. Hey, Fred. So if you are a workshop person, you are doing a workshop, you should have people a sheet that people can sign in on, or an iPad or something that people can sign in on as they are coming into the room, or something that you could pass around the room while you're doing your workshop to collect people's information. Because ideally, if they came specifically to your breakout session for you to do your workshop, they are obviously interested in what it is that you have to say. So it would behoove you to not follow up with them after their workshop is over, right? You should be collecting their information so you can build a connection with them and get them into your pipeline, right? Because if you're doing a workshop, more than likely you're selling something, right? Specifically. So that's number 2. Know your options for pitching if you're participating at any of those 3 levels, right? Thank you, Mel. Okay. So here's the last tip. I told you I won't be here long. Okay. Here's the last tip. Have a memorable, free, or low cost digital product or gift that can help them get more connected with you. So when you are in person, again, you have a golden moment to get connected with people. It is not like being on social media. And social media has made a lot of people lazy in terms of getting back genuinely, humanistically connected with people. You have to remember, people buy from people, they do not buy from businesses unless you are like one of the big three. If you are Target, Walmart, or Amazon, you don't have to worry about people buying from your business. Okay? They don't care whether or not you connect with them or not. They are still going to spend their money there. Why? Because people don't know how to survive without spending their money in those places. So it's a given. They have what I need, I have to go buy, right? To survive the day. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? However, if you are a small business owner and you are in these in-person spaces, you need to be able to help yourself stand out from everybody else that was in the room. You need to be able to help yourself be recognizable and be memorable, because people love when you can highlight detail about them. This is why when I go to networking events, this is another golden key I'm going to give you all. When I go to networking events, or when I do speaking engagements, or when I do vendor events, I always wear something that is going to be a conversation piece. Why? Because that person is going to remember that thing that I put on that was the conversation piece. So I went to a networking event a couple of weeks ago here where I live at. It's a local networking event. And I had on a cheetah print kimono. I'm a super stylish person. When I dress, I dress. I had on a cheetah print kimono. Everybody in the room commented me on that kimono. That was going to be the thing that they remembered about me. So when I followed up with them, that was the point of leverage that I used to follow up. Hey, this is Tanika. We met at such and such networking event. Thank you for giving me the what is it? Thank you for giving me the compliment on my kimono. I just wanted to know if you were interested in discussions such and such. It's a conversation piece. It's a strategy. If I wear very dynamic earrings, they're conversation pieces. I had on some earrings that day that this particular lady loved. She remembered me by my earrings. She was like, "Oh my God, your earrings are so pretty." And the gift I was able to give to her, because the earrings I had on, I'm actually a brand ambassador for the girl that sells the earrings. I said, "Oh, we should get connected if jewelry is your thing," because she actually had a jewelry business. And I said, "Well, here, let me give you a special gift." I said, "If you use this code at checkout to buy these earrings," I said, "you'll get 20% off your purchase." She was ecstatic, and she bought them right there on the spot. So you have to start thinking in terms, what small digital product can I give out to people that's either free or very low cost that can help them get a quick win, but it also puts them in my pipeline. It also introduces them to what I do. It also helps build rapport with them. And behind them using their product or getting introduced to their product or downloading their product, there's a series of emails or something that's coming up behind it to check in on them and see how they really liked it. It's several touch points, because again, going back to what I told you all last weekend, the world used to be okay with you having gotten in front of people 7 to 8 times. People's attention spans are too short now. They too short. So now you have to get in front of people at least 16 to 20 times for them to even realize what it is that you're doing. And this is one person. This is not 20 different people. This is one person. One person needs to see you at least 16 to 20 times to realize what you do, who you are, how you do it, whether or not they need it, and what the cost of it is. So if you need to get in front of people that much, you need to leverage the opportunities that you do get in front of people to create more memorable experiences that help you stand out from everybody else in your industry. The stuff that everybody else is saying that they're too high up to do. Figure out what those things are that they don't want to do, and you start doing them, because it creates a more humanistic experience that psychologically jogs the brain to be able to say, she really did take her time to do X, Y, and Z for me. I'm really going to start paying attention to her content. I'm really going to start paying attention to the things that she's doing. and pay attention to it so much that ultimately I'll sign up for, a low cost product. Talking about the funnel, I did the funnel training last week. That's how you work people down your funnel. The goal is to work people through the levels of their funnel and work them out the other end. You don't want them to stay at the top. If they're staying at the top, something is not being conveyed correctly to where they can convert down through the funnel. You don't want them to stay at the top. Or maybe they're just not a great fit actually for what it is that you do. Could be a couple of things, right? But the goal is to get them from the top and move them down further, because a funnel gets skinnier as you go down. You don't want them to stay at the top. So you should have something that you can offer at each level of the funnel that helps create connection and helps create community. And my formula is connection, community, coins. If you create those things, you'll have coins all the time. This is why building a pipeline is important. This is why leveraging a digital strategy with what it is that you do is important, right? This is how you couple them together. This is why you don't have to, once you couple them together and you build up enough momentum, you don't have to stay on social media trying to post 1,000 posts a day, because you're actually being strategic about the way that you move. Okay. So that was all 3 tips. I told y'all I was gonna be here long. How long have I been on here? 30 minutes. Okay. That was all 3 tips. So if you are, again, a service provider, a speaker, a consultant, a small business owner that bends, if you're just somebody who's getting back into networking, this is a really quick, valuable training. This is something I could charge for, because I could have went deeper than what I went. But this is a really quick, valuable training that if you just add these 3 tips that I just went over to your in-person strategy, it can help grow your business in the long run, right? It can help grow your business. It really, really can. But you must couple it with a strategy that makes sense. If you don't couple it with a strategy that makes sense, if you're doing it just to check the box of saying I did it and to show other people, it's not going to help you, because it's not a strategy. I will say again, posting on social media is not a strategy. It is the start. It is not the finish. Okay. It has to have a strategy behind it. You have to have moves behind it. It's just the start of it. Great content is just the start. But you don't want all of that great content to get posted and not be leveraged in the way that it needs to be leveraged. So don't let your great content be doing all of that good work. It's not the strategy, it's the distribution. Absolutely. Absolutely. Coming from the content king himself. Oh, what's today? Today's Saturday. So if you are on here, here's one of my resources and one of my collaborative partners. So if you are on here, Kingdom Culture Agency does free on Sundays. If you are somebody who is overwhelmed with their social media strategy, Kingdom Culture does free on Sundays. Tomorrow is Sunday. Hello? Go follow them on Instagram, Kingdom Culture Agency, and get with them about your social media strategy so you can have a strategy. Kingdom Culture Agency. Right? Content and distribution is a part of the strategy. Absolutely. We want to see your powerful content. We want to be able to connect deeper with you. But if you do not present that as an opportunity for us to go deeper, we're not going to do it. We can't go deeper on something that we ain't got access to. Right? So that is all I have for you all today. If you look in the caption of this particular live, if you're on Facebook and on Instagram, you won't be able to see it, but you can check my link in my bio. I have a workshop coming up. How to leverage a digital strategy to grow your business here in Memphis, Tennessee. It's happening on June 15th. It's $197 per person with the ticket. You'll get a customized digital strategy. You'll get one funnel built. You'll get your digital product built. You'll get a lead magnet built. You're leaving out of that room with all of that. I'm also going to feed you lunch, and you'll get the opportunity to network with other business owners in the room. For $197, I don't know where you're going to get that at, but I'm offering it. The link is in my bio for you to sign up and get your ticket. The location is disclosed upon sign up. So we have our location, but I'm not putting it out publicly because I don't want everybody to be pulling up, because it's not an everybody thing. It's for those that pay for it. And there is limited seating available. Or if you are somebody who's like, I don't just want to dip my toe in the water, I'm ready to go for the full-blown experience, you can put in an application for my Elevate Your Mastery coaching program. We are accepting new clients right now. So both of those are at the link that is in my bio or in the caption. If you have any questions about what I discussed here on the live today, if you're watching the replay, feel free to drop your questions or send me a DM. My DM is open to answer your questions. So that's all I have today. I'm gonna hop off because I need to get to the gym, and then that's pretty much gonna be my day. But I hope you all have an amazing weekend. Happy Memorial Day to you all that's coming up. And yeah, let's get it. Let's get out here and get this money because some of you all are leaving too much money on the table, and they don't sit well with me. They made me itch a little bit. So I need y'all to get it together, okay? All right. See y'all on next week.